Yes, they're going to look at these big bodies because they're easier to work with, but there is plenty of room for guys that need to recruit themselves, so to speak. Now let's talk a little bit about if you are recruiting them. You're not on the radar. You're not a high-profile player. You're not 6'4" and 220, and you throw 1,000 miles an hour. And there's plenty of room for everybody. Don't get it twisted. Yes, they're going to look at these big bodies because they're easier to work with, but there is plenty of room for guys that need to recruit themselves, so to speak. And there are plenty of people out there that'll take a deep dive into it. I'm going to talk to you about my experience, and I'm also going to share with you some snippets of a podcast I did with Coach Jamie Shoop. He's a Division I coach at Florida A&M. He was at Florida State for many years, College World Series 10 times, as well as Brian Henry, who was a coach at a junior college, a high elite junior college, also in Tallahassee. And I'm going to share some clips. I did a podcast with those guys and get their perspective on some do's and don'ts. But if you have to recruit yourself, if you're recruiting colleges, you have to understand there is a lot to take in consideration. In-state tuition, out-of-state tuition, all the same things we talked about earlier. Do you fit the culture? Can you play there? Is it something where you can dig your heels into? But there's always a point where you can only go so far with those thought processes. Do they want you? Do they have room for you? Can you make that team? You just don't know. And coaches will typically not tell you. They typically won't tell you. Not because they don't want to burst your bubble, but they just don't know. You're the 10th guy they've talked to in the last 2 hours. And 8 of those 10 guys were just like you. They were trying to get their attention. They don't know. They have no idea.